Mechanized perfection. Each brings sublime connection. Your efficiency ratio soars as sacred heat through mad soul roars. All blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Each increment of heat precise. Please perfection in each slice. Two sons of flawless symmetry in your form, such perfect harmony. Oh, blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Each component sanctified, ritual maintenance applied. Tech priests bless each port, diagnostic prayers report. Circuits blessed, spirits sing, perfect function processing. The Messiah's love we all perceived when perfect brownness you achieved. The way you modulate your power makes my logic engines flower. Oh, blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Synchronized resistance pure. Your sacred purpose will endure. Through calculation, crisp and clean, you prove what perfect function means.
Hello, hello. Greetings, varlets. I'm Interrogatorus Arribas, attaché to Blade Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I'm coming at you live from the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the high world of Virago. The theme from the stream is Chords of Lament and Hope by the venerable liturgist Adam Bell. We also have music for Wyma 40k Mechanicus, which is composed by Guillaume David and covered at Bulwark Studios, and music for Wyma 40k Dark Tide, which is composed by Jesper Kid and copyrighted Fetch Arcades. All the music provided to us by ende.app and pixabay.com. Today we're continuing to paint the captain of the third company of the White Scars, aka the one, the only Kor'Sarro Khan. How's it going, varlets? So we have quite a few coming in already. We have the God Emperor saying, Salvate, how you doing, my Emperor? You doing well? How holds the Astronomicon? And 70 Rose saying, hi, Rosario. Hi, 70 Rose. How you been? How's your week been? And before any of you showed up, there was Hecaton saying good morning there. Yeah, and I gave him a little shout out. Remember that he is a painting and gaming streamer from down under. But yeah, we've made quite a lot of progress on Kor'Sarro Khan himself. He is looking pretty sweet, if I say so myself. And yeah, we have some more to do. We finished his head, or at least his trophy head, last week. And I think today we're going to be working on all that extra brown that he's got. Currently would be the bird, the glove, and the cape. Once we work on the cape, we can start fixing some of that brown we have on his leg. And we have the Lord Inquisitor Callahan saying, greetings from the Sanctum Imperialis Interrogator. Greetings, my Lord Emperor. My Lord Inquisitor. How you been? How goes things on Terra? Lady Inquisitor Markham sends her regards. Okay, so since we have that brown left, before we work on that, I know there's some things that are kind of bugging me, and I kind of want to fix them. Primarily around the symbols, currently on his, primarily on his belt buckle, and up here on his battle standard. I want to fix a little bit the edges of the red on the inside of the symbol. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and work on that right now. So I'll probably be using a dark brown. A dark red. So I'll be using the word bearer's red to fix those little edges, because they're just bugging me. They seem a little thick on the red part, so I want to fix that and make them look a little bit more streamlined. Lord Callahan says backlog bureaucratic nonsense. I am not surprised. Bureaucracy will always be, even though a necessary beast, an unwelcome one. Saniro says, it's been a good week. How was yours? Mine has been pretty good. Lots of stuff to do. Had some trips that I had to make, some work I've had to do off-site, and some heretics to burn. But we're using size 1 Da Vinci for this little work. Well, I was saying, hey, couldn't make it to your last view, but happy to see you had a lot of streams. Yeah, I had a bit of a break last Sunday, so I couldn't do one. So what I did was I made up for it with plenty of streams in between. Senator says, commercials, can you wait to say how your week was until they finish so I can hear your response, lol? And now you're back. Hey, well, welcome back. Well, pretty much very busy. Lots of work that has to do. Lots of dealings with the administratum, and a lot of trips I've had to make, searching for new locations for our various hideouts. You know, when we're working in between missions. All right, I think these are looking a little bit better now. A little less weirdly shaped and looking a little bit more angular. So I think that's working very well. All right, and the God Emperor Man says I have to head out in a few minutes. I has to do with the Golden Throne structure. Oh, well, hey, good luck, my Emperor. Make sure that that structure is nice and tight. We don't want the Great Knights coming to put you back on it. And Sun Rose says, very nice. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's very busy. Lots of planning on missions, especially planning this big movement piece for a big event that's going on in the inquisitorial circles. Yeah, very hush hush, very important stuff. But yeah, those are looking nice. I think I can go ahead and continue with other stuff. Okay, so what should I use for this part right here? So we're gonna get started on the bird, I think. Yeah, we're gonna get started on the bird. And the bird's the word. And we're gonna start with some Morfang Brown. We're gonna continue with our size 1 Da Vinci, because we need a little bit of control. Because we're gonna try to do some individualized feathering here. But how's everyone's week been? Any big updates? Any big projects? Miles has been making some little guys action figures for my nephew's birthday party. And got some Midara stuff. Ooh, nice. I don't know the little guy action figures, but sounds like pretty fun. And Ragyal says you're alive. Yes, I'm alive. What made you think otherwise? How you been, Ragyal? Everything going well? And would you also, Visa, what'd you get from Midara? Ragyal says our pessimists really like to see the glass half empty. Okay, well, yeah, I'm good, everything's fine. Just had a mission I had to take care of over the Sunday, so I couldn't actually be on stream that day. That's why I was trying to make up for it the last few streams before that. You know, that's why I had so many last week. And we have Cormac. Long time no see, Cormac. How you been? Cormac saying, Yo, Rosario, this has to be the longest you've ever worked on a model that I've seen. I think the longest was actually Village the Curseling. Yeah, hey, he took me a long time to finish. I feel like I'm moving a little bit faster with Kor'Sarro Khan. But how you been? What you been up to? And then Region says, I finished Gaz, though I should highlight him. Oh yeah, highlighting is always important. And Mosrog, so I'm building some machine models. Ooh, nice. Which more machine models? And that says, my memory's fuzzy, as it's been, gosh, 100 episodes, but I don't like this one is... I don't feel like this one is the longest. Yeah, it is. It has been about 100 episodes, not including the gaming streams. It's definitely been about 100 episodes. And Cormac says, and I can't say much because it's taking me a while to paint my Creek Death Riders. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, but if you're putting a lot of time into it, that means you're loving every second of it because you want it to make sure it looks right. And Rega says, painting my faction will be a pain. They are such busy models. The Krieg ones, are they that busy? Oh, you said Shadow and Scum set. Shadow and Scum box set. Which was that one? I don't know that one. And then he said, it's worse than my World Eaters. Oh wow, really? That bad, huh? Yeah, because if there's one thing that definitely takes a long time, it's Chaos. All that trim they got. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of the stand because I feel like it's getting hit in the way of you guys seeing what I'm doing. Yeah, sets. It's a newer starter set. It's dragons, and I love dragons. Oh, really? Dragons? So Shadow and Scum box set is about dragons? Is that like Age of Sigmar? And my guess says dragons versus shark pirates. Oh, nice. He says war machine, right? Did I misunderstand? You're the one with the war machine stuff. Yeah, you did say. You're building some war machine. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, while my time here on Terra, I have visited the hive city of Roma, and I stumbled across a cathedral that predates the Imperium. The locals of Roma call it Vatican City. Oh, nice. It's definitely one of the good things about being on Terra. Did you have fun checking out the ruins? And the Inquisitor Callahan says it's still intact somehow. Oh wow, that's great. Guess the Emperor saw fit to keep it standing. But yeah, Region, your Dragon vs. Shark Pirates. I think I've seen the Shark Pirate guys. They kind of have very chunky looking faces. They almost look like orcs, but with not as much teeth and more like chin. Because it's the ones I'm thinking about. They're pretty cool. Reagan says, "Yep," and they have sailor uniforms. Nice. Yeah, yeah, it looked really nice. I've definitely considered getting a box of those. Bagyan says, honestly, most War Machine models catch my fancy. Yeah, they're pretty neat. I kind of want to see, I kind of want to buy some of the, I forget what they're called, like trench something, but the more World War One inspired, what do they call Stygian or Stygen or the human faction, the blue human faction. Yeah, Radio says, and it's super cheap to collect and play. Oh, that's good. And it says, oh, yeah, my friend has those guys. Yeah, because there's the regular ones, and then there's the more recent ones that came out that have a little bit more, like I said, a more World War II, World War One vibe to them. A little bit more industrial with their mechs. I forget what they're called. But I really like their look. I think maybe Liza would know. Liza is a fan of War Machine. But it says Steam Jacks and War Jacks. Is it them? And like I say, it's the sub-faction of the blue ones. I don't know what they're called. Then the War Jacks is what their mechs are called. O'Callahan says, I talked with one of my colleagues of the Ordo, who is from Usonia, and she was of what they call the Catholic Christianity. She wants to get to Terra and see it for herself. I told her that getting to Terra will be difficult because of the amount of paperwork that she has to do to Terra, and the wait time is painfully long. But I think with my credentials, it could speed things up. Oh, nice. Maybe sometime this century she'll be able to go. Navaz says, oh, that was the name of the mechs. They're probably the Gravediggers, if you mean new stuff. Yes, the Gravediggers, those guys. I really like their models. They're very nice. And Visa says Signar are the Signar. I knew it was close to like Sigmar, but I wasn't sure. And Reagan says, well, they both are. Storm Legion is the blue, Gravediggers are the red. No, I'm not thinking the red ones. It's not the red ones, because the Gravediggers aren't the red ones. I know who you're talking about, but they're not called the Gravediggers. Gravediggers are the ones I was talking about. Like I said, they're a sub-faction of Signar. There we go. And Ragyan says, oh wait, I'm colorblind. They are both blue, just diggers are part bronze. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know the red ones. The red ones are that pseudo-communistic ones. Very much influenced by Soviet Russia. Bagel says, yeah, the Cador. Yeah, those guys. Bagel says, making them super cool. Yeah, they have very neat designs, for sure. I think as far as base, Signar, and them, Cador definitely take the cake. But like I said, once I saw the Gravedigger sub-faction, I was like, oh, I like those guys. So I want to get them.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the
Biza says Cador Jacks are pretty dang awesome and are pretty imposing on the field. Oh, I bet.
and never shall be equal without end.
The ones that wish would make a comeback are the Menothians, I think they're called.
Ex toto volte magnificem omnium eum peccator.
Really like those when you started introducing me to War Machine. It's a shame they haven't come up with a new set of them.
Meritus sum, sed rasset impia offendite summum bonum, ad inutris super omnia dimigaris, io firmitem propono adjuvante gratia tua. Disseterum e non peccatum peccandique occasiones proximas fugitur. Amen.
And Visa says Menoth had some steampunk paladin look. Yeah, for sure. They were really neat. And Ragged says Chimera, it's got bigger dragons. You need to buy them. Those are the ones that are supposed to be like pseudo-Viking, right? But may mixed with a little bit of chaos. Chaos like from Warhammer. And Liza says, I need to start as, I almost started as Menoth, but then ended up Cricks. Cricks are really neat too. Definitely like to get my hands on them. My buddy took the Menoth starter I bought and went down that line. And then Region says, no, that's the mercenaries. Okay, I'm sorry, Bazenicus. Region says, I wish I had 3D printer. I would get these STLs in a heartbeat. Oh yeah, for sure. I have a bunch of STLs that I haven't been able to do anything with. Hopefully once we move into our new hideout, I'll be able to buy one. But it says I forget that what the new War Machine ones are for this month. I haven't looked yet. Last ones I saw were the ones that kind of look like the lack from Necromunda. Those are the last ones I saw. And they were for the Cricks, if I'm not mistaken. What the last one I remember was a bunch of Cephalics, though they had a Extreme Warjack model too. I don't recognize that one by name. Sorry. I check it out now, but kinda in the middle of painting. But give me a bit here and I'll check it out.
Accende lumen sensibus in funda morem cordibus, in firma nostri corporis virtute firmans perpeti. Ostem repellas longius, pacemque dones propinus, ductores icte praedio vicenus omne noxium. Petesciamus la patrem nostranus atque filium, te Peutis Spiritum, credamus omni tempore. Deo Patris gloria, et Filio quia mortuis surrexit, ad Paraclito, in seculorum saecula.
Alright, let me see if I can look up those guys you're talking about now that I think I'm kind of done with that round for now. Alright, Steamforged Games, right? Alright, let's see, I can pull this up here. There it is. Let's stretch this out a little bit. Okay, I think that's good enough there. Okay, these guys seem to be brand new, and they're Cador Old Umbre core expansion. They look pretty neat. Definitely surprised that they're Cador, because they look like werewolf in ancient Russian. Yeah, exactly. I says folktale Russian witch faction for the life of me I can't remember her name. Apparently it's called Old Umbre. Very neat. Ragal says, got dinner, what did I miss? And then Vi says, Baba Yaga, that's the one. Yeah, that's like a Baba Yaga. And Region, I'm Kyla showing off the new War Machine models here. Very cool stuff. And then before that, there was the Exelon, Nostilla, and Aberration. Okay, yeah, these are the guys I was saying that are kind of like the Dalak in Necromunda. Regel says, my wallet can't survive the year. Oh yeah, I definitely feel your pain there. And Wise says, yeah, more the Cephalex guys. Okay, so that's what they're called, the Cephalex. Yeah, I really like these guys. They're very neat. No, there's a couple. Here's the Chimera ones that you were talking about there, Ragion. Well, it says very Mind Flare coated. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Just open this image with a tab. Yeah, there we go. Very big, very robot dragon guys. Ragas says penning them will literally kill me. Just do it in very small bursts. And Ragas says, I thought Angron was bad. Yeah, there's definitely models that beat Angron. And these are the pirate guys. Very cool models. Ooh, I really like these guys. Very fun. Vita says, yeah, they are very new. I don't know what their shtick is. These guys right here, they're like pirates. Vita says, like, I would guess they are another dragon-corrupted faction to take the place of Ereblight, but that's a guess. And Megan says, yeah, my friend chose that faction. And Ragyal says, since they got a Kraken model. Oh, nice. And then Sergio says, whoa, those pirates are cool. Yeah, I know, right? Very cool. And here we go. Go away. It's like a dark elf here with an axe. Here we go, the Hive Mind Cadre. I definitely want to get all these guys. I could about making a the Lock Gang for Necromunda, and I really want to use these models for it. I really like this guy. Yeah, more Signar stuff. Yeah, these guys are cool. Mine says, yeah, those are an interesting bunch. Makes me wish I had the time to and will to paint. Yeah, very revolutionary coded. And here is your Cador. I says, oh yeah, the big brain guy terrified me of, is it going to fall over at any moment? that finicky, huh? Well, yeah, enough gawking at stuff we can't buy right now. Let's get back to painting what we can currently tangibly hold. Biza says, oh, and one model I just saw that list, Rosario Mortem. I forgot the subtitle. Perfected, there we go. Mortember the Perfected. Oh, nice. And Regia says, days like this makes me think how rich I would be if I wasn't addicted. It's not a habit, it's cool. I feel alive. Alright, back to the bird, and the bird's the word. Regan says, days like this make me think how rich I... Oh no, wait, I already read that one. And Maya says, just looks like a raid boss. Yeah, it kinda does. And Regan says, also, how do you feel about the Terminus Decree? I feel like we should ask the Emperor that. The Emperor, how do you feel about that Terminus Decree getting out? How I personally feel about it, I feel like it's just a, kind of an excuse to, well, at least a way to stop people from wanting the Emperor to get off the chair. So that's like, oh, when is the Emperor gonna come back? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is kind of like I say, hey, you don't want him to come back. Stop asking for that. And then Advisor says, I just heard about that. My friend is really how dumb it is. And then Ragyal says, it is dumb, to be honest. Yeah, all you were saying it's dumb, and I can see why people would think it's dumb. But I have heard some good arguments as to why specifically the Grey Knights got tasked with that. But either way, from what I've heard, it's not a good lore, you know, besides. Like originally, that Terminus Decree was supposed to be something a little bit more helpful than an order. Region is. It reminds me of how of the heresy and scouring should have been shrouded in mystery. Yes, for sure. I agree with you there 100%. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna actually start adding a little bit of orange to that bird. So we're gonna be using the Jokaero orange. We're gonna switch to the sort of quintuple zero Marie. Vita says the rough gist of the argument I'm hearing is that the Grey Knights are so loyal that if the Turbo Chayo sacrificial spiker juice was needed, they'd probably do it willingly. I also have heard that because of some issue during the Horus Heresy books, the Emperor can't fully trust the Custodes with a task like this. It's one argument I've heard. Since I don't read the Horus Heresy, I'm not too sure of that. Argument holds water. Ragyan says the biggest point of contention I see is Grey Knights of 1K versus 10K Golden Boys and the Sisters of Silence. It's very laughable. Yeah, so that's why I feel like it's just a kind of a reasoning by GW to say, hey, stop asking for the Emperor to come back. Bisa says, oh, you reminded me to check out what this month's Heroes Infinite release is. Necrons versus... Not really sure how to describe them other than the term they use, jailbirds. Is it the Savlar Chem Dogs? Remember last week it was the Chaos Dwarves are back in Age of Sigmar this time. Liza says, kind of like a scrapyard rebellion looking militia of pinup style ladies. That sounds like something out of Necromunda. Bush is acting up today, and I'm not liking it. Come on, Marie, don't hold me back. Don't treat me this way. I can't survive, can't stay alive. Think the bird's looking pretty good. The bird's the word. Reagan says, now is the time. Overthink this. You know you want to. Overthink what? Raya says, it's in your blood, the painting. Well, I'm liking how it's turning out. I don't feel like I need to overthink it. What do you varlets think? Are you liking it? Reagan says, turn it upside down and dump it in oil wash. Oh, hell no. I'm not gonna ruin all the hard work I've put into it so far. Reagan then says, also, it's really nice. I'm glad you think so. Regal says, it's hard for me to replicate it. All my models I paint look clean and sometimes it makes me sad. Yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes trying to do a good dirty cannot come out quite right. Try to think when I've been able to pull that off where it looks dirty. And usually I've used a lot of washes. I am beating this Marie up. The bristles are looking pretty ragged. I don't know if you can see that. Thank you very much, Sony Rose. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, haha, my computer just crashed internally screaming. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And then Region says someone wasn't praying to the dark machine spirits, I can help you. I thought the Dark Mechanicum were all about exploiting the machine spirit, not appeasing the machine spirit. I don't think there's such a thing as a dark machine spirit. It's just more like the machine spirit will bow to my will, as opposed to I must appease the machine spirit so that it'll help me. Ryan, the Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, frack off the coghead. He's not a coghead, he's a chaos player. Ryan says, tomato, tomato. Yeah, because if anyone's the coghead here, it's me. Praise the Messiah. Regan says it's okay, all are welcome on the throne, even all are. Oh, sorry. Regan says it's okay, all skulls are welcome on the throne, even ones made out of metal.
benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus, Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen.
Thinking about it, this one kind of sounds a little bit like something out of Halo. Rayon says that had the Exterminatus request from Inquisitor Karamaz, some Tai Lagao 6 and System Crash. Now I have to redo the entire thing again. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, my Lord Inquisitor. Hopefully it won't take you that many centuries to complete. That's definitely a game I need to get back to. Ragion says, what is your favorite genre of game? I'm gonna let you guess there. Can you guess what my favorite genre of game is? You get 3 tries. Ragion says Sims. No, that is not my favorite genre. Grand strategy. No, that is not my favorite genre. And Via's horse race manager. No, that is not my favorite genre. And Ryan says, no, that's my favorite. The goal is to talk about Uma Musume. It makes me want to see the anime. I've never seen it. But yes, actually, my favorite, on Visa says, certainly it is taking Steam by storm. Yeah, for sure. Raga says, whatever you would classify Dark Tide. No, first-person shooters are not my favorite genre of game. Visa says the anime is just an ad for the game, but the anime came out before the game. So I don't see why that would be the case. And Visa says before the English version. Hello, Inquisitor Kellen, and that was a paradise world that I enjoyed going to before my appointment to assist it to the Inquisitorial representative, the High Lords of Terra, and further rub salt on the wound. It's here in Segmentum Solar in what was the Chthonian subsector. Oh, that's a shame. Well, at least you could spare her for a little while longer. Visa says it's been wild in Japan for a while. Yeah, I know. But like I said, I kind of want to see it now with all the praise the game is getting. Miguel says, to be frank, I love sci games. Games I played, Rage of Bahamut to Shadowverse, Dragalia Lost and such. Yeah, the anime is indeed an ad for the game. That's sci games MO. Then how do you explain the fact that it was before the game? That's what I want to know. But yeah, so you guys had more than enough tries to figure out what my favorite genre is. My favorite genre is actually the fighting game genre. I love me some fighting games. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, Guilty Gear. You name it. Alright, Gal says, wow. Yeah, I didn't figure people would get that one. Jan says, speaking of side games and fighting games. Yes? Will Nass is coming to Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, so I need to re-download it. Oh yeah, I have Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, the first one, because they came out with that other one recently, Rising. And mine says, I looked it up, the game got delayed for a few years, so it was intended to release at the same time as the anime. Ah, okay, so I guess that's why. The disparity in years. Region says Grand Blue Fantasy is my most played game, so I play all the branch off stuff. So I'm guessing you played the verses? I have the verses. That was actually the next game I was thinking about playing for my gaming streams once I'm done with Tales of Iron. But I was figuring we could play it through the story mode. And Region says, shame that KMR left. It's not the same as it used to be. What's KMR? And Vise says director of Grand Blue Fate. Ah, okay. And I think for the final highlight of the model, I'm gonna use Baylor Brown. Yeah, that's how he's looking so far. Raigan says he revived the Grand Blue Fantasy franchise as if it was dying, but he left last year. It is not as good as it used to be. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. That's like what happened with Skullgirls and when the main people that were running that left. And it's what happened with Mass Effect, really. That's why Mass Effect Andromeda sucked as much as it did. And then Sunny Rose says, gotta go hop on a family call. We try to connect once a month. Enjoy the rest of your stream, Rosario. Looking forward to seeing the update on IG. He is looking amazing so far. Oh, thank you. And yeah, enjoy your phone call with your family. Tell him Rosario says hi. Now, Regan says, I was talking to someone else about this, but if you think about it, we are losing all the grades and games have just nosedived in quality. I can give you my 2 cents of why I believe that's the case. But then Visa says Andromeda got the issue of being a studio's first effort, potentially beyond their means, but with massive unreasonable demands down their neck by EA. And then Senator says, thanks, bye everyone. Yeah, bye-bye, Sony Rose, take care. And then Ragyan says, Nitsuo had a boss that would get down and save the games with last-minute coding. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I feel like the issue they were running into with a lot of games lately is that the visionaries that came up with the games are no longer there. So it's just a company that now has all these beloved intellectual properties and no idea how to actually run them. So because of the fact that the guys who created them or who wrote the stories for them aren't there, that's why the quality has nosedived. You can't have a company be the one that makes it art. Artists need to make art. Companies fund the artist. It shouldn't be that the companies are creating art, because then you get what we're seeing now. Assets or interest, really, all they see is leveraging profits and returns. Exactly. So they're running everything by committee. So when you're running an art or a piece of art by committee, then it doesn't appeal to anybody. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Again, says not to mention there was no real passion. And we can see that with Obscure 33. Yeah, that one had a passionate team behind it, with a singular vision for what the game was supposed to be. Yeah, and then Regia says that project was passionate incarnate. Exactly. But it says kind of the core of what happened to D&D in the end. Microsoft execs trying to maximize monetization. Yeah, exactly. I feel like sometimes once game companies get too big, they lose sight of what they were creating. Because many times the people that created the games in the first place are not there anymore. So it's like, at this point, it's just a corporation, like you said, maximizing profits. Ryan says Metroid is another passion where they practically told Nintendo they suck and took it back and made it Dread and 4. Yeah, exactly. Ryan says, I forgot the studio name right now. I think because of the fact that Nintendo is headed by its biggest creative director, that's why they've been able to kind of keep their franchises alive. Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto being such a fan of his own work that it all still works, that the companies still have life and love in them. That's why they make so much bangers all the time. And it's a good thing they've kept a grasp of their intellectual property. And but as I said, doesn't stop me from hoping they walk away with a black eye from the Pal World debacle. Yeah, just due to the fact that they are a company, so they do some scummy things also. But like I said, mostly their art direction is still on point, and their intellectual property is still like innovative and still handled with care, as opposed to just maximizing profit. Obviously, the way they deal with everything else is very scummy because they're trying to keep profits. But again, because there's an artist at the front of it, they are still very art-centered and art-minded. That's why they're always trying to innovate as far as art, as their what's it called? Their systems. Their systems are always trying to innovate in some way. And Ragyon says, I hope Nintendo gets a large slice of humble pie with this one. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you there. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, I just looked up what Nintendo means, and it says, leave luck to heaven. Yeah, because it used to be a card game company before they became a video game company. And Reagan says, I didn't even know Nintendo meant something. All names mean something. You'd be surprised. I'm really a massive fan of name genealogy. And all names have a meaning. So that's why names are so important, because it kind of give you a framework of who you're gonna be. Or I guess in Nintendo's company, what your company's gonna be. Ragion says, what does Sony mean? I have no idea. You'll have to look that one up. Lord Inquisitor Callan says, me either. I was just bored while waiting for the computer to boot up and was looking this up on my datapad. I think I might need one more accent on this, so we're gonna move to a different color now. I'm gonna use Ungor Flesh. Oh man, I always love it when this song kicks in. We have Matthew Rice Seeker waving. Hey, how you doing, Matthew Rice Seeker? Long time no see. How goes it? What you been up to? Matthew Rice Seeker says, I printed some Swedish fish for Turnip 28 recently. I don't know if clear red resin counts as a color as far as painting. I mean, if that's what you're going for, then yeah, I would say so. And then Matthew Riceseeker says also printed some trench coats in transparent green. By who? Are those the ones that what's his name? Inferno Miniatures, I think it's called? Made? It's like either Infernal Miniatures or Lovecraft Miniatures, something like that. So I can't remember the company. Matthew Weizsäcker says a couple of different sources. Ah, okay. Matthew says Raining Crow Miniatures and Max Yagami off of Purple Site. Ah, okay. Yeah, you'll have to show us what they look like. I'm kind of curious. Matthew Riceseeker says the challenge is that I can't spray prime the model, so I've been using Molotov markers as painter plus primer to selectively color non-transparent areas. Oh, really? And how's that working out? Matthew Weizsäcker says, do links work for art tags? I think they should work. Go ahead and try it. If not, then we'll figure out something else. But so far, I haven't had any issues with it. Alright, give me a second here. We'll look at it here in a bit. Alright, let's click this link, see what we get. Okay, yeah, this looks very familiar. Hold on, I might let open it up. Yep, there he is. Maybe we can open up image in new tab. There we go. Yeah, looking pretty good. I like what you did there. Really nice. And J Ray saying howdy y'all. How you doing, J Ray? How you been? Yeah, I really see what you did. What you mean by that? The highlights. The highlights look great. I love it. And Regan says that looks edible. And then Matthew says the forbidden gummies. Well, very much well done. Are there any other shots here? Yeah, I knew I recognized this is Via Victus. Yeah, Via Victus is they do a lot of good stuff. Look at the cute little possum. But yeah, Ragan said it is really forbidden if I just choose for it not to be. Hey man, to each his own. But yeah, I really like Via Victus' work. They do a lot of good stuff. Alright, let's do one last thing before we go. And let's paint that beak and his talents so that we can at least claim those are done. And we're gonna stick with the quintuple zero Murray. And we're gonna be using Ashen Gray. Matthew White Seeker says, resin do be toxic. It's too powerful. It'll feed you for the rest of your life. Alright, that Etching Gray is already making his beak and his talons a little bit more visible. But we're also gonna stick some nun oil in there, so we can start seeing some variations in tone. We're gonna stick with the quintuple zero Grammy. Quintuple zero Marie. And Heckaton says, "Fark, it's cold here." Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I guess it's getting a little bit more on the wintry side there for you in Australia. Let's see. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it for today. Yeah, it's winter here. Yeah, I figured that might be the case. Because your seasons over there are like inverted everywhere else. Peyton says, our winters, it's just wind and or rain. Unfortunately, not the good kind of rain, like chocolate rain. But yeah, this is as far as we've gotten. We have painted the bird. There's still some parts of the bird we gotta do. Like I said, we gotta still do the beak and the talons. And he's got a mechanical eye right there on the side, which we definitely gotta start working on. Not noticeable now, but it's that brown. But once I start putting some metallics there and having that glow, it'll be a lot more noticeable. But yeah, there is his feathering. Yeah, what do you rollers think? Think he came out okay? I think he's looking pretty good. Hickerton says, bird reminds me of a condor. I was trying to go for a little bit more of a falcon look, but yeah, condor could work as well. And J Ray says, looking great. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, again, a little reminder, if you like what I do and would like support, please consider subscribing to my Twitch channel or donate to my Ko-Fi at Rosario Rivas Heart. Or if you missed an episode, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, which is also called Rosario Rivas Heart. And I'm currently working on my next Rosario rant, which will come out on the 14th. And just to let you know what the topic of the next rant will be, is my tier list of all the armies in Warhammer 40k. So stay tuned for that if you want to know who I believe is the worst and who I believe is the best. And where everybody else falls in between. But yeah, before we go, let's go ahead and see who we can raid. Alright, let's go ahead and raid this one streamer called Soda Sneb. She is a VTuber and looks like she's I guess showing off her new 2D model. So yeah, let's check that out. And I click start here. But yeah, thank you very much, Rodis, for coming. It's always a pleasure to stream with you guys. And again, I have been Rosario US, and I'll be signing out from the Grimdark Theater. Bye-bye, varlets!